The sun had just dipped below the horizon, leaving behind a faint glow in the sky as Gabi stood in Eldric's hut, his voice steady and commanding. "Get geared up. The time has come. The sun is down, but there's still enough light. Meet me by the stream. We move now." Without another word, Gabi turned and strode out of the hut, his mind focused on the mission ahead. The others quickly dispersed to prepare. Tariq made his way to the blacksmith's shop, where he opened an old, sturdy trunk. Inside were a short sword and a dagger, gifts from Harun. He strapped them to his side, his resolve hardening. Harun returned home, where his family waited with anxious eyes. He hugged his wife and children tightly, lingering for a moment with his eldest son, Hamid. "Be strong, Hamid. Protect the family while I'm gone." He then went to his room, pulling a heavy trunk from under the bed. From it, he withdrew a long sword, its blade gleaming with the promise of battle. Raja arrived at his house, where his younger brother was waiting. He picked up the sword his father had given him, the weight of it familiar in his hands. "Be strong," Raja told his brother, his voice firm with the conviction of his lineage. Oren, meanwhile, donned a leather armor and took up his spear, preparing for the fight ahead. In the inn, Osama reached behind the counter where his trusted hammer hung on the wall. He took it down, its weight reassuring, and grabbed a torch before heading out. One by one, they converged at the village gate. Osama was the first to arrive, followed by Raja, then Oren, and finally Tariq, who approached with a torch in hand. Harun came last, his long sword sheathed at his side. As the group assembled, a small crowd of villagers gathered at the gate, their faces etched with worry and hope. Mothers who had lost their children stood at the forefront, tears streaming down their faces as they begged the men to bring their little ones back. Eldric joined them, his expression solemn yet resolute. He addressed the villagers first, his voice carrying the weight of the moment. "Remember their names. These brave souls have volunteered to venture into the swamp to bring back your sons. They are risking their lives for this village, for all of you. Let their names be etched in your memory. They do not know what they will encounter, but still, they go." Turning to face the group, Eldric spoke with the authority of a leader sending his men into battle. "Brave sons of Meadowbrook, return victorious." The villagers waved and cheered for them as the group turned toward the stream, their hearts swelling with courage. The cheers of the villagers slowly faded into the distance as they walked, leaving behind the safety of the village and moving toward the unknown. When they reached the stream, they saw Gabi already there, standing knee-deep in the water, rinsing away the grime from his body. He looked up at them, his face serious. "Clean yourselves. Leave no dirt on you. Be quick about it." The group obeyed, quickly freshening up in the stream. Once they were clean, they donned their gear, the air around them heavy with the tension of what was to come. "It's necessary to be clean," Gabi explained as he lit his torch, the flame casting eerie shadows on the trees around them. "The magic only works on the filthy. Follow everything I say. Don't hesitate. We can't afford mistakes." With their torches lit, they ventured into the dark forest. The light from their torches flickered against the darkness, casting long shadows as they moved deeper into the woods. The howling of wolves echoed through the trees, but these brave hearts remained undeterred. As they approached the swamp, Gabi stopped and made a tactical decision. "Osama, stay in the middle. I'll lead from the front. Tariq, Raja, you'll flank us. Harun, watch our back. And remember, stay vigilant. The witch will use illusions to deceive us." The further they ventured into the swamp, the louder the howling became, as if the wolves were right beside them. The sound grew closer and closer, the tension in the group rising with each step. Gabi noticed their fear, understanding it all too well. "It's just an illusion," Gabi called out, his voice firm. "The witch is toying with us. Stay focused." The swamp grew darker, the air thick with moisture and the scent of decay. Suddenly, Gabi noticed a flicker of movement in the distance. Before he could react, Osama, who was a few feet behind him, shouted, "Hunter, look out!" Osama lunged forward, knocking Gabi aside and crashing to the ground as he swung his hammer with all his might. The hammer struck a large rock with a resounding crack. Gabi and Oren quickly grabbed Osama, pulling him back. "It's just an illusion, Osama," Oren shouted, his voice urgent. Osama's eyes were wide with shock, his breathing heavy. "But the snake," It was going to devour you, Hunter. I had to. Gabi slapped Osama lightly across the face, bringing him back to his senses. It was nothing but a trick of the mind. The witch is trying to break us. Regaining his composure, Osama nodded, though his hands still trembled. Gabi addressed the group, his voice stern. New rule: if you see anything attacking someone, do not interfere unless the person being attacked calls for help. Understand? They all nodded, the seriousness of the situation weighing on them. The group ventured further into the swamp, the oppressive atmosphere closing in around them. Suddenly, Raja whispered, "Father?" His voice was full of disbelief. Then, louder, "Father!" Before anyone could react, he tried to run toward the voice, but Osama grabbed his arm, holding him back. "It's just an illusion," Osama said firmly, his grip tight on Raja. Gabi rushed over, helping to restrain Raja. "Snap out of it," Gabi commanded, his voice cutting through the fog of illusion that had gripped Raja's mind. Raja blinked, his breath coming in short gasps as he slowly realized the truth. It was just in my head," he muttered, shaken but regaining control. Gabi looked around at the group, his voice low and steady. "This is just the beginning. Stay sharp, we're getting close."